All right, welcome to our Why doTERRA, Why Now? I'm super excited to be here with you tonight. My name is Rosie Gremmert. I'm a diamond in doTERRA, and I know that when I was first thinking about making some money with doTERRA, maybe partnering with the company in that way, I had some questions, and I thought, I wish there was like a video I could watch. And it was fine. I had some great friends I could ask questions to, but that's the purpose of this. I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I chose to partner with doTERRA, why it is such a great idea, and why right now it's a really great idea. So as we move through this, I want you to think about yourself, and I want you to think about where you'd like to be 5 years from now. You can see this quote that's here on the bottom of this screen. And this is the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If I had it to do all over again, rather than build an old style type of business, I would have started building a network marketing business. And there's a few reasons for that. We'll talk about that as we go through this presentation tonight. But I just want you to keep that in mind, that here's one of the most successful entrepreneurs and authors, and very well recognized and respected. And he's saying, if I had it to do over again, I would have started building a network marketing business. So, goodness, my friends, just a minute. I am so sorry. It has expanded something that I didn't want it to expand. All right, so what is so different about doTERRA? There's a few different things. We're going to go through them in the next few slides. But as we go through, I want you to think about what this means for you. And in essence, I want you to do something like this, where you're putting your own family over the top of any of the pictures, or yourself in over the top in any of the pictures. So for me, some of the things that doTERRA has created for us is an opportunity for me to be able to set my own hours and to decide when I'm going to work, and work around our busy church volunteer schedule, our busy family life, our busy community involvement schedule. And I'm a lifelong learner. Like, I've had a few times where I've been in some pretty intensive learning situations. I've decided to go back and get different certifications, and none of that would have been possible in the same way if I hadn't been running my own business and working from home. So this is just a picture of our family about a year and a half ago. We have 5 boys, 5 sons, and currently 11 grandkids and 4 amazing daughter-in-laws. So as we go through this presentation, I want you to put you in over any of the pictures and just think about how it really does relate to you. I decided in 2011 to partner with doTERRA as a company. I have had lots of time in the health and wellness industry. I used to be part owner in a herbal apothecary. I worked in respite and hospice for decades. I still work in the functional medicine arena. And what I usually tell people is that I'm a holistic health coach, because I have several certifications, but that's the simplest one for people to wrap their heads around. Now, that might not be you. You might be a stay-at-home mom. You might be a grandma who is looking at wanting to retire, or anything in between. You might be someone who you're like, you know what, I've owned several businesses and I'm looking at something that's going to create some more residual income. You might even be a wellness professional yourself, and you've got a brick and mortar, and you're looking for a way that there can be some residual income that comes in, and it's not hauling buckets, so to speak. It's not that you're only getting paid for when you're putting time into your business. And I've had experience supporting all of these different types of earners, all these different types of people, and have got some plans in place for all of those things. So as we're going through, just think about your own situations. Feel free to write down some questions, and then I'd love to help you figure out how it can work for you. So one of the things that is so important is that you have got consumable products and that it's a very diverse product range, because that is how you'll be able to serve the needs of your clients, your customers, your patients, whatever category that the people buying the products are for you. You can serve multiple areas of their life. And doTERRA's products range is very diverse. You can help somebody with their personal care products. You can help them with things that have to do with metabolism and nutrition, foundational wellness, and the essential oils, of course, are head and shoulders above others. And so this diversity in the product range not only makes it so that you can reach more people and impact more people, but it also makes it so that you can have a deeper impact in the life of each individual person that you're helping. Another thing that is very important is how trusted for being pure is the brand. And doTERRA has done an excellent job of having that information about how pure their oils are, how tested they are, and how trusted they are to be out there. And they give us so much information to back it up. In fact, if you choose to go to doTERRA's convention, for example, you'll find that most of the presentations, most of the panels, the things that we learn about have to do with the science behind the products and behind the essential oils. And then they make that all available to us and to all of our customers. So it doesn't all have to be coming from you, like your mouth to their ear. doTERRA has so many resources that make it easy for your patients, your clients, your customers to be able to find the things that they need to know in order to find out if that's a product that is good for them. The sustainability of doTERRA is head and shoulders above any other network marketing company that I have ever looked at. One of the things that really speaks to my mind, like my business mind, as well as to my heart, is the co-impact sourcing. We have a phrase where we say we impact both sides of the bottle. And because doTERRA supports the local farmers and those microeconomies all over the world, then that level of sustainability and the impact it has locally, as well as the purity for the bottle when it's in your hands, it's a little bit mind-boggling, actually. It's hard to wrap your head around. You can see on this map that we source the oils where they grow the best, and also where they can have the most impact on those local economies. They completely cut out that middleman. There's no broker in between, which also means there's less possibility for there being any kind of dilution and intentional or even inadvertent adulteration in that supply chain. And I've personally been able to go to a few of the different places where oils are sourced and actually see these harvesters and these growers bring the natural materials into where the distillery is and be paid on the spot. And honestly, many times these are women who are doing this work, and they are then paid on the spot, and they're able to improve their quality of life, their family's quality of life, their children, including their girls, are able to go to school. It's really inspiring. So this is one of the core pillars behind doTERRA, is the co-impact sourcing and that global impact all around the world. This is not your typical direct selling company. One of the things, if you decide to ask myself, anybody else you know that has a doTERRA business, like, how did you start doing your doTERRA business? And it is a really high number of people. It's like 80 to 85% of the people who have doTERRA businesses, they started out by falling in love with the product, having it impact their life, and then decided they wanted to help other people with that product. That is how good and how high quality the essential oils and the products are. Unlike other direct selling models, which maybe have tainted somebody you know or yourself, your view on direct sales, they lead with the business opportunity. And it's all about making money, making money. And we're kind of like that humble, successful person that you may know, where it's like, well, yeah, we've got this great opportunity to make a bunch of money, and it's because of the products. The opportunity is so solid because of the products. And actually, that speaks to my soul in a different way than if it were only about the money. And I'll get into sharing a little bit about the compensation plan in just a minute so you can see that difference. But this is one of the big differences, is that the products are so solid that even people who have been thinking they would never, ever decide to be part of a network marketing company or do direct selling, uh, they they'll feel great and at home in our doTERRA community because it is all product led. Our retention rate is unheard of because of that reason, a 60 to 70% retention rate. And this has been for over 10 years. I've been hearing these numbers since I started in 2011, and they do release them every single year. There's a report that's put out. So this isn't something that's padded or that's been distorted. My own organization, we're in over 23 countries. Last time I looked, it was 23 countries, and that was December. And this is truly our retention rate. So it's not just a number that's out there on a slide. And by comparison, other direct selling companies averaged between 12 and 15%. And that's actually a very generous reflection, because there are direct selling companies out there where their retention rate is more like 2 or 3%. So if you're not continuously working only on bringing in new people with an only 2 to 3% retention rate, you can see how that dream of there being residual income, like true residual income, would just be so, so, so hard to obtain. But with doTERRA, it's a true possibility. This gives you some information on actually what ended up being kind of a tricky year as far as any sales went. And you can see that this revenue in 2019 and the growth in 2019, doTERRA was in the black. We had 5% growth at that time. And that same year, you can see these reports from other direct selling companies, what their growth rate was. And if it's red, then that means it was a negative, right? It wasn't a positive growth rate, it was a negative. So some of the other ways that we stand out is that we're privately held. We're not managed by a board of directors or investors. There are 7 owners, and they are still on the board, and they still make decisions. And they made the decision right away back in the early years of doTERRA to not have it be that there were others making the decisions that had to do with the purity of the oils, the purity of the products. Other points, like they didn't want there to be fairy dusting in the supplements, where only the amount that needed to be in the product to make it so it could be listed on the label. That can be a common thing in supplement products. So it's not actually the quantity that shows up in the studies that gets you the results that you're looking for. They just put in enough so that they can put it on the label so it says that thing is in there. So those types of things that are out of integrity, the owners didn't want to be beholden to somebody else making those kinds of decisions. So, and this is something that they have committed to, that they say, we have no exit plan. They're not planning on having that change. And that doesn't mean that they aren't being very fiscally responsible, but putting good leadership in place to carry on as they age and move on to doing some other things in their lives with their families and that kind of thing. They've done a really great job at that, but they have committed to always being privately held. They are debt-free, and they have been debt-free. I should have noted what year they became completely debt-free again, but even the big campus that they built here in Pleasant Grove, Utah, They did that all maintaining being debt-free, which is phenomenal for a corporation, a global corporation at this time, that they're completely debt-free. And you can see these other things here. More than 120 markets open worldwide. I myself, if I should have again made note of this, I think I have founders on my team in 6 different markets. So that's just a phenomenal opportunity, and it's only expanding. There's always, somebody who knows somebody that's in another country. And with the way that everything with our communication and our ways to connect, especially virtually, have shifted and changed, you can be supporting people all over the world and be able to truly grow and have time and financial freedom in a different way than what we were looking at like 20 years ago. This other piece of part of the $1 trillion wellness industry, that is such a huge chunk of what people spend their money on, are things that have to do with their health and their wellness. And this last line, not to have it be taken lightly at all, is disrupting healthcare. We, especially if you're in North America, we live in a really great place to have an emergency. Our emergent care is phenomenal. This is definitely where I'd want to be if I were having a heart attack or if I had broken my leg. And yet the wellness care in these areas isn't the greatest. And so as we are teaching people to pay attention to foundational wellness habits and to put our products in place to shift their habits and their overall health and wellness, it truly is disrupting healthcare. And I love being a part of that movement. These are our 7 leaders. They're founded in 2008, and from the very beginning, they were committed to have the highest quality essential oils and to be able to raise the bar of other essential oil companies to have those highest levels of integrity as well. And this is the stance that they have stuck with. And I am blessed enough to personally know every single one of these owners, and some of them I know pretty well. I've served with them in some humanitarian spaces and other areas around the world. Some of them live really close to us. One of their wives even was one of our son's teachers for a year. Just have been lucky to have some really great interactions with the owners of the company. And I have never met people with such high integrity and such sharp thinkers and service-minded hearts. And if you ever want to have a conversation about that, whether you're catching this recording later or not, I am happy to visit with you about those things. We really do have a service culture, which is another reason why doTERRA stands out. Many different direct selling companies have got a nonprofit arm. That's not unusual. But when you partner that nonprofit arm, which for us is doTERRA Healing Hands Foundation, with the way that they let us do leader-led projects and do global initiatives like some of the ones that you can see here, and you put that together with the pieces of the co-impact sourcing, all of that compounds to create an impact like I haven't witnessed in other companies. And I actually was part of 3 other network marketing companies before I landed here with doTERRA. In fact, when I first learned about doTERRA, I had a good friend of mine share a couple of oils with me, and I'd been using some oils since 1985. So I was like, sure, I'll give those a try. And my response to her was, but I'll never do this as a business. Like, I kind of felt like I'd already tried the network marketing approach, and it just wasn't something that I was going to try to do again. I didn't see that it was working for different reasons, right? And then with all of these pieces that I've been going through and the way that they compound together, doTERRA truly has been different in a way that I didn't experience in any of those other network marketing companies that I worked with. One of the things to share here is, again, how personal this can get for you. If you are someone who wants to make a difference in the world, this is a picture of the children at a school that I am on the board of Afro-Compassion. And this is a school that we've built over in Tanzania with 3 different Healing Hands Foundation matching funds projects. We've done a well water storage container, 4 spigot community outlet space for that. 2 buildings that are part of our school now. We have 13 acres, and we're now building a women's center, a women's community center, which will continue to empower not only the children to be able to be literate and to be empowered to rise themselves up out of poverty, but also then the women and thereby the men and the families also in the community. And this impacts 4 villages all around this area. So there are so many ways that you can up level your life with doTERRA. It isn't only more money coming in to your bank account each month. It's more goodness coming in so many different areas in your life. I can't say enough about how beautiful this situation is that we find ourselves in right now, because people are literate at joining virtual meetings now. When I first moved states in 2014 and started teaching online and doing my business virtually, it was a lot clunkier. People didn't understand how to join meetings. Things have completely shifted in that way. It really has expounded the reach that we can have, especially when you're talking about other markets. And doTERRA provides you with a replicated website. You don't have to pay a monthly fee for that. It's just included with setting up a wellness advocate account. They have podcasts and ebooks, and they've got training courses that are both for you, for other builders, for your customers, your clients, your patients, whatever it is that is your community of people. There's online communities and classes. There's all kinds of social media support systems in place. Every single month, doTERRA just gives us for free digital marketing assets, including even videos, things that are formatted already for Instagram or Facebook or for Twitter or for wherever it is that you want to be able to be using these things. And they're all free. They're all included. You don't pay extra for that. So that opportunity is amazing. And I have to tell you, from being a part of other network marketing companies, that is not always the case. I was part of other ones where about half of what I was making each month was used on paying for the website, paying for samples, paying for paperwork that I needed to use. Granted, that was long enough ago that was actually, like duplicate records of paperwork, but they really did have it in mind, that fiscal responsibility. doTERRA has a goal, thanks to Dave Sterling, who is the original CEO, has a goal to be the network marketing company that helps the most number of people to get out of debt. They even have an entire program that's called Free to Give, where you get different medallions for when you pay off different levels of debt. And that is a part of who doTERRA is and what they do. They want us all to be free. They want us to be free to be able to give back. And they want us to be free to be able to go out and serve. They want us to be free to be able to be the best that we are. And so these are ways that they don't encumber us by making us pay for any of these things. You can see the quality of some of these different materials. Like there's an example of the sales guide and the share guide, which is meant for hostesses if you're doing that building model where there's like in-person or Zoom classes and there's hostesses. And there's actually the same types of guides for every single rank in doTERRA, as well as there's a live guide that you can give to your new customers. There's a build guide for when you have somebody that decides they want to start building a business. So there's just so much support. And everything is transparent in your back office to be able to see like where your money is coming from. I have never felt like I didn't know how it was that I was being paid or what I was getting paid for. And I did have times of confusion working with other network marketing companies. So I love that transparency. So there's 5 different ways to make money with doTERRA. The whole piece of going through the compensation plan is actually something that I do in another training. But as a general overview, there's retail. You get 25% off on any retail sales. There's Fast Start, that's paid weekly, and it is 20% that is paid to you from any orders in the first 60 days of when one of your clients, customers, or patients sets up their own wholesale membership or their own wellness advocate account. The Power of 3 is something that's paid monthly, and that's based on the structure of your organization. And again, that's why a whole nother training is done on that, is because once you're like, yeah, this makes sense to me, I do want to make more money with doTERRA, then we go into these different pieces and help you understand how to be able to unlock and access all these different ones. Our unilevel is 7 levels deep, and it actually is one of the few, I actually don't know of any other one, that does dynamic compression, which means it doesn't break. If you have somebody on your 4th level that doesn't place an order, then all that will happen is that person on your 5th level order, it's like it's part of your 4th level instead. So dynamic compression means you're always paid out 7 levels on any order. Or if you think of it the other way around, every single order always pays out at least 7 levels up. So that's a distinct difference to other network marketing companies. The other thing that's very, very different is we're paid more on our lower levels. So that true residual income, and again, that's part of another class. If you look at some other compensation plans, people get more here, but as our team grows and grows, they end up actually with making 1/3 of the amount of money than with our compensation plan. Because if you think about it, like if I help 5 of my friends set up accounts and they help 5 of their friends set up accounts, the most number of your people are going to be lower down in your organization. So doTERRA really did set it up so that we earn more where we have more people. It also encourages helping to create these little pods where you have usually kind of a little community leader who's taking care of their pod, whether it's an office or a community or a group or someone who's a coach. They've got their own pod they're taking care of. And so all of these structure pieces encourage that, which creates more stability as well. And then the 5th level, the 5th way is the empowerment bonus. And that empowerment bonus is paid out to some of our, what would be like middle management ranks for doing all of the things. So they're doing things to take care of their own business, and they're still showing up and helping people set up new accounts too. And this bonus specifically is to help bridge that gap between when someone's making enough to pay for their own product and shifting into where they're making more like replacement income levels for a part-time or full-time job. This, at a glance, tells you our reported earnings for the different ranks. There are ranks below the rank of silver, but silver is the beginning of what is considered a leadership rank in doTERRA. And the reason why I like to show this is because you see on gold where it says 1.8 million in savings at a 4% return. If you're thinking about retirement, this residual income of about 56 to 5,800 a month, that is how much you'd have to have in savings in order to be generating that type of a retirement income. So we do have a number of people that their target, when they're looking at what do I want to create with a doTERRA business, their target is to be somewhere between that silver, gold, platinum range, because that's what they would like to have for when they want more time freedom in their golden years of their life, right? So I like to put that information in there. More than 97% of leaders stay with doTERRA year after year after year. We have phenomenal products. I am connected to people like I never would have imagined I would be connected to such people who are so focused on their own mental, emotional, and physical wellness. Integrity is super high. And I just feel so blessed every single day for the things that we've been able to create in doTERRA, both with our finances and also with those connections and the personal growth too. One other way that I didn't talk about with the compensation plan where people can make money with doTERRA is this, what's called a refer a friend program. And I like to think of it as a little bit like an affiliate program. It's really easy. In fact, every single person who has a wholesale membership, even, which is just like a Costco account with doTERRA, they have this opportunity that if they share their little referral link with a friend, they get back what's called doTERRA dollars on their doTERRA account. And they can spend those doTERRA dollars on any doTERRA product. So it's not the same as the compensation plan, and it's not, it can't be more than $600 a year, because then that changes tax structure. Like when somebody gets to that point, then they need to make a decision on if they want to become a wellness advocate and be making more money with doTERRA. But I like to bring this up because sometimes this can be a really good way for maybe you've been a long-time customer with doTERRA and you love the products and you'd like to put your toes in and see what that would be like. And this refer a friend way can be a great way to do it because, again, you can get these doTERRA dollars. And I also tell people to think of it as a little bit like a rechargeable gift card. So when you share your link with people, and if they decide to purchase, you get doTERRA dollars back that go on this rechargeable gift card. It's all virtual, of course. And that can only be used on doTERRA products up to $600 per year. Well, technically $599 per year, right? And that's in the US. This is also available in Canada, but I think the tax rate amount might be different than the $599. So these are some really quick facts. You can take a picture of it if you want to about the refer a friend. And if you need any more information about that, again, you can reach out to me or whoever invited you to watch this video. This networking model in conjunction with a high quality product or service represents unparalleled opportunity for people to thrive. I cannot say enough for the built-in support systems and connections that occur within the doTERRA communities. I have never seen individuals who are so adept and so desiring of helping others to be better and truly accepting, is you're wanting to be better, that you want to have your own health be better? Is you're wanting to be better, that you want you and your loved ones' health to be better? Is what you want is to be able to influence and impact and help communities of people to all feel better, including having a financial freedom and to have more fiscal health than what they've had. doTERRA serves all of these areas. And it truly is, again, speaking from experience of being part of other network marketing companies, an unparalleled opportunity. I wouldn't still be with this company since 2011 if this wasn't true. So if you already have a doTERRA wholesale account, which is that account that's like a Costco membership, this is where you would go to upgrade your account in order to be a wellness advocate. Now, a little caveat here, I'd encourage you to reach out to whoever invited you to watch this video, because they might want to have a conversation with you about, well, if you're going to be a wellness advocate, let's talk about perhaps some opportunities that are on my team, or let's talk about how I can partner with you. And there also can be an opportunity where when somebody upgrades, that they can have their account moved to a different space where you can maybe be a part of some different kinds of supports, or be connected in with some other people that are also building in your area, or different, like there's so many different scenarios. I can't go through them all. So the bottom line is, if you go to upgrade, reach out to the person that helped you set up your wholesale membership account, because they might be like, oh, I'm so excited. I was just going to be doing this boot camp and it would be perfect for you, right? So reach out to them. But when you go to your account profile, all you do is click on this account upgrade. It has you put in your tax ID number, and that way you can do it in a secure way. It gets encrypted right away. And then doTERRA has what they need in order to make it so that you'd be able to get paid. There are different ways that you can get started, like perhaps you don't already have a wholesale account. And these are just some examples of ways to do it. One of the things that is different about doTERRA is you don't have to pick a pre-configured kit, which again, I love that. It is very different from other network marketing companies. So over on this side here, you can see this customize a kit. You can select any combination of products, and when you are getting your link to do that from whoever invited you to this video, it's like a magic link, and you won't pay a $35 membership fee. And all of your products will be at that wholesale cost of 25% off. And the reason why this customize a kit says make it 150 PV, because you can see up in the upper corner that then you get to pick a free gift. Even your customers, clients, or patients that are going to come in after you get started, if they set up their wholesale account with at least 150 PV, PV means product value, it's the wholesale value of the products in the cart, then they also get to pick that free gift. So doTERRA just likes to help people get started off in the best way. So again, reach out to who invited you to this, to watch this, or if it's me, reach out to me, and I'll help you pick the very best thing. One other thing that I want to point out is you can see this VMG that I've got in a few of these pictures. This is one of doTERRA's very newest products that's just come out that focuses on foundational wellness. And if you're someone who you've been a wholesale customer for a while and you've perhaps been taking the Lifelong Vitality Pack, which you can see a picture of it here in the Natural Solutions Kit, the VMG plus that orange bottle of the omegas, that replaces the Lifelong Vitality Pack. So in one serving a day of this packet with greens and your 3 omega pills, so you just do that once a day, you can do that instead of the Lifelong Vitality Pack. So I just want to clear that up in case there's a little bit of confusion of like, why is that next to that? So the Natural Solutions Kit doesn't include both of those, but there's options to be able to either pick it with the VMG or to pick it with the Lifelong Vitality Pack. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. That is very depressing to me, but I did think this was a cute picture. And it's also true. Thinking about what you want your quality of life to be like, thinking about what kind of legacy you want to leave, what do you want your retirement years to be like? And what about representing such a high integrity company? What about having that be a part of who you are and what you do? What about representing a company that as you use their products, it actually helps shift your own foundational wellness? Like all of these things are things to think about. I know that I have had the time in the past where I was part of a company where I did love their product, but it wasn't consumable. Like once people bought that one thing, it was, unless they were going to buy it again to give to a gift to somebody else, it wasn't consumable. It wasn't really changing a lot about my own wellness. They were a specific type of educational toys. So there are many things that I loved about it and that aligned with my family values. But again, I wasn't making money when I was sleeping. I would only make money if I was out doing a party, right? Doing an event. So I want you to know that we have had several times in this time frame since 2011 when we have been building and working with doTERRA, where we have been making money even though I couldn't be engaged in the business. And these things happen. Life is full of ups and downs. We had in 2012 when my mother passed away after a battle with cancer, and those last 4 months of her life, I was her medical and her legal power of attorney. And because I had had a background working in respite and hospice and doing in-home care, I was fully engaged there with my mom. There were no support calls to my team members. There were no classes. Well, I would answer people's questions if they reached out to me, but I was fully present with my mom. And then, of course, there took a little bit of time to recover, right? It takes a minute to get back into step with things after stuff like that happens. And I am so grateful for the time and energy I put into building my doTERRA business and the people that are in the communities that I'm a part of, my customers, my clients, and the other people building businesses with me because of this. We also have had different times where surgeries have come up. We moved across the country. I almost died in the summer of 2021, and it took me months to recover from the global situation that we all dealt with. And all of these situations, although of course your business can be impacted if you're not being able to check in with it here and there, um, we still had a paycheck coming in and we were able to have our needs taken care of. And I'm so grateful that I had the forethought to invest in building a network marketing business so that we were able to have that catching us. And although your results are based on your ability to learn new skills, your results are based on the time you put into it. I can't say, oh yeah, in a year you're going to be making this much money, because that's what I did. I do see that the people who engage and they find a way to share the message, to teach people about the products, and to help them to be able to set up their own wholesale accounts, that those people, they are being able to pay for their own products or make enough income that it's like a part-time job, or make enough income to replace their full-time income. And really the opportunity, it's just there. It's there for you. So I'm going to pause our recording. I'm grateful to all the people that has joined us on live. If you are catching the recording, just know that you can reach out with questions to who invited you to the video. And you can also message me if I'm the one that invited you, or you can post it in the comments of this recording. One of the best ways to communicate with everybody these days is texting. Just reach out through text. And I have one last thing for any of you, whether you're live or you're catching the recording later on. And again, this is just because I like to show up to serve and I like to give gifts. It's one of my love languages, I think. But I've got this 2-page PDF that's 20 different live video topic ideas, and it's 20 different ways to network online. And this is a real business text number. This is not automated. So if you text 20 ways, then within a business day or so, either myself or my assistant will shoot you back this 2-page PDF so that you can just have it as a thank you for showing up and being a part of our presentation. So don't be afraid to reach out. We're always here to help, and we want to have you be successful.